If you're even a casual fan of Nintendo, you know there have been countless numbers of fan games made by dedicated fans. AM2R, Pokemon Uranium, and the PC port of Mario 64, just to name a few. All of these projects were made by hardcore Nintendo fans, and were wanting to not only share their work with other fans, but in some cases, give people what Nintendo wouldn't. But in the end, all of these projects were shut down by Nintendo with DMCA takedowns, some being struck down soon after they were released. But how does that relate to Mother 3, I hear you asking? Well, let me answer your question with a question of my own. Have you ever wondered why Nintendo allows Mother 3 to still be downloaded? It can be considered a fan game after all, with the fan translation, because Nintendo hasn't translated it. So why hasn't Nintendo taken it down? Well, that's what I'm going to try to answer in this video. And if you would like to learn the answer to this question, please consider subscribing to my channel, where you can find all sorts of Nintendo and gaming related content. This is why Mother 3 may never release in the US. Mother 3 was originally designed for the Nintendo 64 disk drive, but after several delays and complications with the 64DD after launch, it was shortly discontinued, and Mother 3 was thought to be cancelled. That was until 2003, when after several years and many failed petitions, Mother 3 was re-announced for the Game Boy Advance, but only for Japan, where it has remained ever since. That is until the Mother 3 translation project was announced on November of 2006, by Clyde Tomato Mandolin, the lead over the project. Tomato, who has worked on other notable games such as Kingdom Hearts 2 and the Dragon Ball anime, along with around a dozen others, translated Mother 3 from Japanese to English. The process that took 2 years and thousands of work hours. They decided that the only changes they would make to the game would be a new intro screen. And doing it this way meant that they did not add their names to the end credits, which after playing the game and seeing all the work and love that was put into this, is something that I would have liked to have seen personally. Members of the team likened the ROM hacking to that of teaching someone another language by slowly altering their DNA piece by piece through trial and error. Some of the technical changes including graphical hacks and custom software. Mother 3 was coded in such a way that there was not enough system memory to display the on-screen text, since Japanese characters all occupied the same amount of space. The team had to custom code the new English characters to fit properly. About 1,000 pages of text were translated, which was described as large by most RPG standards. The team estimated that the freelance costs of all the translation work would have cost around $30,000. The team even said that the highest levels of Nintendo of America knew about their project, though they did not intervene. But why? Nintendo has become well known lately for taking down or stopping such projects like this. Well, enter the email. Jump ahead 2 years to 2008, to the night before the translation patch was to be released, when a mysterious email was sent to the email address of Tomato used for just his online resume and nothing else. Opening the email, it read, Subject: Appeal from a member of the gaming industry. Hi Clyde. I know you're having a pretty busy and significant week with the Mother 3 patches released right around the corner. As a member of the game industry, I have to say that I'm really impressed with the results. It looks every bit as good as some professional localizations, and way better than most. Congratulations on all your hard work. The reason I'm writing, though, is to appeal to your professionalism and ask that you don't release it. I'm a little scared of all the furies of the internet this will unleash, but this might be my last chance to express an unpopular opinion. It's true that no company has ever brought legal action against fan translations, and I think, so far, that's been the right decision, since fan translations in the past generally haven't posed any threat to an IP. This project sets a new precedent though. Never has there been a fan translation this good, and never has there been one this public. This time it doesn't feel like a fan translation. You've taken your work to a professional level, and for that reason you're suddenly stepping on people's toes. Yes, Nintendo of America has chosen not to bring Mother 3 to the US, yet lately they seem to be pretending the entire series doesn't exist. But why are you putting an expiration date on their right to do so? Series like Kid Icarus and Punch-Out were ignored for decades, and now they're coming back. The first installment of Fire Emblem is being released next year in English after 19 years in the vault. It was always possible that Mother would make a return, but if your patch comes out, there goes all its chances. A lot of fans on the internet will be happy because they'll get their Mother 3, and a superior translation of it at that. But you will effectively be dealing a fatal blow to the IP's future. Why would the publisher give Mother another thought when their largest target audience for the series would rather bombard their office with phone calls or tactfully condone what basically amounts to mass piracy than wait patiently for them to find a release to the game in a way that's profitable? Parts of these profits go back to the Mother creators and future developments of the IP, by the way, whether they do it next year or 10 years down the line. If you love the series as much as you say, why would you be a driving force behind killing it off for good? I know you don't see it that way. I know you mean well and you adore the series, and that this patch is a labor of love. I also realize that among the people who download it, a very, very small percentage have actually bought the Japanese game legally and would otherwise never dream of downloading a ROM. These people deserve to get Mother 3 in English, as does the general public who have never heard about the title's troubled history, or Starman.net, or your patch. I hope the publisher decides to deliver, and I believe that eventually they will, but that's their call. So please be proud of the work you've put into the patch. Be proud of the fact that you have had such a significant sway over the future of one of the best game series out there. But please, 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 as a fellow professional who wants to see these games survive in the long run, I ask you, please don't release the patch. Anonymous localization producer. Tomato couldn't believe what he had read. Could this mysterious email have actually come from Nintendo themselves? Tomato had stated that him and their team always said that if Nintendo announced anything, or even asked them to stop, they would. But they had not heard word one from Nintendo. And since this email came from a throwaway Yahoo email address, it could have been from Nintendo, but just as well it could have come from a random person. But the fact that whoever wrote it chose to send it the night before the patch's release, rather than when the team was working on the patch 2 years ago, had to mean something. But it also made Tomato a little doubtful. So what do you think? Do you think that Nintendo emailed the creator of this patch and his team to say that this patch was so well done that if they released it, it would mean the official translation wouldn't or couldn't come from Nintendo because it would be considered inferior? Well, We know that the patch was released, and it's been about 13 years, and Nintendo hasn't said one thing about the Mother series. So I'll leave that for you to decide. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. If you didn't, that other button seems to work just as well. And if you know someone that might like this video, please share it with everyone you know. Also, if you're new here, please consider subscribing for a plethora of gaming related content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.